Hi there, this is Jyoti here from Ek Nayi Disha Foundation. I welcome you all to our program Babble, Gabble. It has been our earnest attempt to make a difference in your life by sharing in our experiences on the subject or the topic of the day. I hope you find it useful and informative. So, to get into the topic of the day, I would start with our people's president, Missile Man, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's quote, where he says that all birds find shelter during rain, but eagle avoid rain by flying above the clouds. So problem is common for all, but it's our attitude which makes the difference. So today's topic for the discussion, my lovely audience, is attitude and the leadership. So let me go on to introducing our speaker of the day. He has a big profile. Still, I'm going to read out to you his profile. Mr. Nirmesh Raghav. He is an electrifying speaker and can motivate and activate human with his unique style. He is a professional trainer with rich history of contributing training expertise in promoting professional excellence across diverse functional disciplines. He has demonstrated matured professional grip in designing and delivering high-impact training module catering to corporates and individuals. He aims to be the most admired learning and skill development partner, enabling sustainable transformation to improve productivity. So this is the profile of our enigmatic, dynamic trainer of the day. So I welcome Mr. Nirmesh Raghav, sir.
Hello everyone. Thank you Jyoti for this wonderful and incredible introduction you have given of mine. So thank you very much, and I'm very happy to be on board of your platform, and I wish you all the good luck for all your future endeavors. So thanks again. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir, to be part of this wonderful noble cause. And thank you once again for accepting our invitation to be part of this wonderful topic of the day, that is attitude and leadership. So, sir, getting on to the...
Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure.
Yes, sir. Sir, we have mostly seen that, people say that you have to have a positive attitude if you want to success in your life. So
Yes.
my question to you is, what does positive attitude actually means? And what are those 7 steps which you mostly teach us to follow? So I want you to share it with our audience, sir.
See, basically, this the term attitude. It's a small thing, but makes a huge difference, right? So, attitude is basically for a pupil is something that determines our potential. Right? Every one of us has tremendous potential, but that potential will come out from you. That will decided by the attitude. Perhaps you have a positive attitude, your potential will work. If you have a negative attitude, so no matter how many qualities or the potential you have, it will not come out, right? So nowadays, for students and everyone, if they follow a certain process, right? So in day-to-day life, we every day feel some negative experiences and some positive experiences. And nowadays, in this COVID situation, we are facing so many negativity around the world. So 90% of the time, during the day we remains with negativity. So resulting this, our attitude also become negative.
Yes, sir.
If if you person follows a process of how they can make how they can remain positive in this negative world nowadays, so they have to follow a certain process. So first they have to decide, yes, nowadays there is a need to change. They have to decide if there is a need to change, they can change themselves. If they think all are good and there is no need to change, so no one can do anything for this kind of people. It is always necessary to be changed. Right?
Yes,
We can take the example, people follow Sachin Tendulkar and Virat Kohli. So I have taken an example from them. Actually, first day when Virat Kohli went to play cricket, did he scored a century? Right? Did he play the best game of his? No. The first day he realized that, yes, there is a need to improvement. Right? And he improved or he changed his skill according to the demand or the technique required to play cricket. Right? He decided to change himself. But when it comes to us, for many of students I used to meet every day, when it comes to them, they always decide to change the college, change the teacher, and they want to change something apart from their personality. Right? You can take, you can learn from Virat Kohli and Sachin Tendulkar. They did not change the bat. They did not change the playing field. They changed themselves. See, for us, this life is like a dance floor. Right? So what we do at dance floor, we dance. And when DJ changes the song, we change our step. We don't change that DJ. So
yes,
life
sir.
is like a dance floor. Whenever the life is changing the music, you should change your steps. Right? So world around us is created by our thinking. And if we want to change our world, it cannot be changed without our changing our thinking. So first the people will have to decide, yes, there is a need to change, but where to change?
Yeah,
So they
that's
should bring certain changes in their skills, their behaviors, right? And when they decided that yes, there is a need to change, they follow a process. We do what we do. We place a question paper and we give a question paper to each student, and we ask them to answer the questions. And there are 20 questions written there. And upper line we say that a student has to answer these questions, and we wish you all the good luck,
yeah.
and you need to answer only 3 questions. And nobody, 90% of the people do not read that you need to answer 3 questions. They started answering all 20 questions. So they have to change their approach, that first they have to stop, think, and then act. But nowadays, what we do, but we listen to everything and we just start acting. No, you have to change that approach. You have to first stop, think, and act. When you stop, your mind will generate some ideas, right? Some what to
Yes,
do
sir.
in this particular situation, right? So when
Absolutely.
what to do with this particular situation, then you will act accordingly. You can choose the best option and then you can act. So first stop, think, and act. And person need to be more curious. As we grow up, our curiosity goes away. You can take the example, when a small kid goes to school, he goes with a 12 color pencils or 12 color sketch, or but when he comes from the school or colleges, he comes with only a single pen that is of blue color. So as we grow up, we lose that curiosity or creativity. It's necessary for the student to be more creative. So for being more creative, ask questions, challenge everything. Right?
Yes,
And if you have asked me the 7 steps, na? And nowadays the students always remains in some complaining mode. See, I can tell
yes,
you a quote is, I didn't remember who wrote this, and I was crying for a pair of shoes until I see a man without legs. So we are blessed with so many things, but still we sometimes we goes in some complaining nature. So we are better than thousands and thousands people in this world, or the crores people in this world. So we are already blessed. So be blessed, develop an attitude of gratitude.
Good.
And one thing, one thing everyone should follow, that they should believe in yourself, believe in themselves. See, God has given us a very unique power, that is our brain. And this brain is made up of this 10,000 crore neurons, right? And capacity of one neuron is equal to one computer. The people has a capacity equivalent to 10,000 crore computers. So they have to believe themselves that God has blessed with the brain. They should use their brain. And one more thing that people should stop doing is procrastinating. Right? So nowadays, I personally experience that the student don't has a courage to take some tough decisions. They what they do whenever there is a time to take some decision, they
Yes,
procrastinate. They used to
absolutely.
postpone the things, right?
Yeah.
And although they start things with half-hearted, and after 3 4 5 days putting some little effort, they give up.
Yes.
All those, I would like to say, if a student want to get a water from this earth, he has to dig at least 50 feet at one place, not 1 feet at 50 places. So continuous
Yes.
efforts are required. Continuous efforts are required, and don't give up, right, until you see the desired result, what you have decided at the beginning. So don't give up
Yes.
till then, till you do not achieve your target.
Yes.
And one more thing I would like to say here is visualization. In this world, everything happens twice. If a student has fixed a target to crack the IAS exam, so the cracking this IAS exam will happen twice. So before it actually crack the exam, he has to crack that exam in the dream
Yeah.
or in his mind. So everything happens twice. Once in your mind before it comes to actual.
Very true.
So I think the all these steps, if a person is follows these all steps, so he can be he can develop a positive attitude, whatever the negative situation is around his or
Absolutely.
him or her.
So very rightly said. Sir, I mostly get a question that some of the student in the final year, when they go for a job interview, they get a question like, what is your greatest weakness? And they
Okay.
really fumble on that particular question. Can you help out this young audience how they should work on it?
See, basically, these questions during an interview, you will face many tricky questions. So, tell me about yours. Tell me about your greatest weakness. Is a tricky question. Even the interview don't want to know your weaknesses, because he also know that nobody will tell the actual weaknesses. So
Yeah.
during the interview, you should not tell your actual weakness. So it's a tricky question, and the interview want to judge your this replying capacity, right?
Yeah.
So so you also can give some diplomatic answers like, yes sir, my weakness is cannot say no when someone asks for a help, right? I don't have a quality to say no, and I'm a bit lazy about the things which I am not interested. If I don't have an interest in particular work, I don't do that. So this is my weakness. So he can ask, the diplomatic answer can be given to this question. Basically, it's a tricky question.
Absolutely. And now I think my audience have really got it right that what exactly they should answer. Mostly, I feel, sir, these tricky questions are meant to just judge you whether you are keeping your mind in a positive direction. Whether I feel that your weakness, will you make it a strength? later on in the job, whichever you will be into. I think that is the
Yes,
reason they ask.
absolutely. Yeah. So even the interviewer knows that in during the 15 minutes of interview, he can't know each and everything from the candidate. So they just want to
Thank you so much for your input, sir, on the wonderful question which I have asked you, and which is mostly asked by a lot of students to me, that about this tricky question of how to talk on their weaknesses in interviews. So I'll just now get back to the other question now on our leadership skills. Sir,
okay. Yeah.
yeah, I just want to know that what, as per you, is the most important values demonstrated by a leader? What kind of values he should carry?
See, actually, the term leadership or the leader, it actually obviously it brings so much responsibilities on the shoulder of a leader, and there are so many quality a leader has to develop. In earlier time, we used to think that leaders are born, but nowadays a leader can be created if he learns something new or some qualities if he develop in him or herself. So he can be a good leader. So qualities maybe like of a leader should always has a vision.
Yes.
Vision of he should have a capacity or courage
Yeah.
uh, to go on a unexplored path. So the path he has not seen, and just he has seen in the dream. So leader should have a vision and a courage to
Yes.
go on a unexplored path, and he should have a courage to take some decisions.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
decision may be like the tough decision or the decision for the future, unpredictable decisions. So this quality has to be developed by a leader.
So that means not leader doesn't mean that he has everything in a golden platter in front of him. He develops that quality inside him to become a leader.
Yeah, with a regular practice or with a regular experience, he can develop these qualities. A normal
Absolutely.
person can be a very effective leader.
Yeah. So, audience, you are listening that any one of us can be a leader. A leader is not the person now, only a born person cannot be. You are not born always with a leadership quality. It is always good that we sharpen our edges, sharpen our skills to become a leader, and a good leader who can inspire others too. So thank you, sir, for this answering such a valuable questions which I always had in my mind. Now I just go back to the next question, which we mostly, even I want to know the answer of it. What are the challenges a leader face, or sometimes a good leader also fails? So what do you think, that what challenges they face and how they overcome it?
See, basically, as I told you that it brings so many responsibilities. So if a leader is not able to develop his qualities and skills required to be a best leader, right? So then he or she may have faced many difficulties, might have faced many difficulties, like
Mhm.
how to handle the audience, how to how to bring his vision in realities. So
Mhm.
like this, he or she may have so many may face so many problems. Right? If he do not develop the qualities which is
Okay.
required to be a leader. So a leader has to develop certain quality, how to handle the team and how to understand the psychology. And no matter how many resources you are having, if you don't know how to use them, it would not bring any favorable results in front of you.
Absolutely. Sir, I'll tell you, in my own work experience, I have seen people who are very knowledgeable. They are very good with the products. They are very good with their academic. They are all MBAs and from IIMs. But with due respect to such a technical institute who really brings out such a resourceful students for our country, for our organization and institutes. But one thing we have seen that at times happens is being so knowledgeable, but they cannot actually deliver a quality of a leader. They are very good with their communication, but they are not a good team leader. They cannot really empathize with people. They cannot take their own decisions. So do you think these qualities of empathizing, good communication, team building is a part of the values a good leader should develop in themselves, sir?
Yeah, obviously, a leader should be a good communicator. Leader should have all the etiquettes of giving or receiving information, and he should be a good decision maker, and he
Okay.
should learn the team building qualities, how to handle a team, right? And
Okay.
apart from getting all this knowledge, a leader should develop a skill of implementing the things. See,
Yes.
if you are having so much knowledge, but you are not
Sir.
implementing, if you have certain idea, but if this idea is not coming out of your mind, it will not take you anywhere. So there are so many qualities, the leadership qualities, team building, communication, and the most important is listening skills. So many a times we have to develop the listening skills. Right? And
Yes,
nowadays it's very, very important to develop these listening skills.
absolutely. Because mostly our brain is always ready to answer.
Yeah,
We
we
are,
don't listen.
that's true, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, okay, as per you, what do you think is the difference between a team leader and a team manager? Who are the team
Uh,
leaders?
Quite different, and huge difference is there. Basically, a manager is always focused on the things, right?
Okay,
And whereas a leader is always focused on the people. A manager always makes some plan, right?
okay,
But a leader always inspire people to get that plan. A
fine.
manager basically used to organize the things, but a
Okay,
leader influences people to be organized. And manager, most of the time you will see manager gives direction.
yeah,
Right? If a person is giving direction, or many a times you will see that all the managers are giving gives directions.
yes,
Right?
sir.
But
Okay,
a leader motivates people. A true leader do not give so many directions. He motivates people, right? And many a times you will see that manager always follow some rules, and leaders make some rules. So this is a basic difference between a manager and a leader.
so, sir, I can surely see that leadership quality in my wonderful Nirmesh sir. Nirmesh sir has been motivating us
Thank you.
always to do something good. Thank you, sir. So, what do you think is the role of a personal attitude and behavior of a good leader? It again comes back to the last question of mine. What kind of a personal behavior or traits they develop in themselves?
See, a leader should develop, basically, he should practice empathy, not the sympathy.
Okay.
Every person can show the sympathy, right? But one thing you have to develop is the empathy towards the pupil. So many qualities for a leader. You started with Dr. APJ Kalam,
Yes, sir.
right? So he was a very empathetic person. If someone want to learn some empathy skill, he can learn from Dr. APJ Kalam. So many times. Once I was reading an example. Employee of Dr. APJ Kalam, when he was in DRDO, he asked them to take a half day leave. Right?
Mhm.
But Dr. APJ Kalam said, if you have finished your work, you can go. If you have not finished your work, then I'm sorry, I cannot allow you to take a leave. I have to take, he said, the employee said, I have to take care of that, my son, he is alone at my home. So he said, no, yeah, if you have finished the work, you can go. Otherwise, you have to finish the work. And when employee finishes his work and he go back to his house, he saw Dr. APJ Kalam was caring for his son.
What an
So
example, sir.
right? So he took care of the employee also, and apart from his son was alone. So Dr. APJ Kalam went to his house and he take care of his son. So these are the basic qualities of a leader. Apart from the main, the professional work life, right? You should care for the personal life of your subordinates.
Very rightly said, sir. Sir, do you have any message for our students, our audience, who are going to watch this on a YouTube, on a Facebook, and all other social medias? What kind of information or
See,
message you want to pass on?
I can tell few things to the students. See, the student has two choices. Either they survive or they succeed. Our God has created two creations on this planet. One is animal and second is human. So God has made animal to survive and human to succeed. So all the students who are listening me right now, you are born to succeed. And once God has made you to succeed, so simultaneously he has put potential in you as well. So you already have, you are born to be succeed and you have all the potential required to be a successful person in his or her life, right?
Yes,
And the student should develop a tendency that every problem has a solution. See, no one will manufacture a lock without the key. You also don't know any company who is making or manufacturing a lock. They don't manufacture a key. The whosoever manufacture a lock, he also manufactures key also, right? So if there is a problem, there is a solution. And believe upon your this the competency level or the potential as God has given you. And earlier I also said that your brain has a power of 100 this the 10,000 crore neurons. So you also has the potential, and there is nothing called that you cannot solve any problem. So if there is a problem, there is a solution. So depend upon the qualities,
yes, sir.
and
We can succeed in our life. The students shouldn't see any blockages that they cannot do. We have a potential to do anything in
yes,
life.
yes, yes, anything in life, and be more curious and don't lose that curiosity.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your such an insightful message and the experiences you shared with us and to our students. Now, coming back to the students and my lovely audience, I would like to say that sir has imparted his knowledge on the 7-step method, how to be a positive attitude person. And those are, you have to decide to change. You have to shift your focus, and you have to have a quality of gratifying things, and you cannot be perfect all the time, so accept your imperfection at times. Be remain always curious to learn new things, but don't be judgmental. Believe in yourself. And last but not the least, whatever we have imparted knowledge to you, take action of it. So unless you implement, then these are just words, and words remains in the books or in our Google search or any other place, but not into result oriented. So thank you so much, sir. And I would end it up by saying that, like many other skills, this gratitude of a leadership skill can also be, as rightly sir has said, that we can cultivate this habit, we can develop the skill. So what stops you? Take action. We'll see you in the next session again. Hope you found this session very useful. Please do visit our website www.eknaidishafoundation.org, and please do subscribe for our YouTube channel to get the latest update, and listen to my podcast in Anchor Vintage Stories. So I hope you like this particular session. Thank you so much, Nirmesh ji. It was
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Zuti. And I wish all the best for your NGO, and you keep doing the good work, bringing change or transformation in the society. So you are doing a very noble work. So thanks for that. Thank you
thank,
so much.
Thank you, sir. And please, audience, stay safe, stay home, and keep learning.